What up, everybody? It's your boy Ash. I'm back again today, coming to you guys this time with my review of My Hero Academia chapter 281 plus Ultra. And man, oh man, this was a heavy chapter, guys. Here, what an intense chapter. We cut back to Shigaraki and Deku and Todoroki's fight, and man, it gets even crazier. So we start this chapter off with Shigaraki standing back up after he got a beating from Todoroki, from Deku, from Gran Torino. Like, all these guys are going in on him. Endeavor, there you go. I keep saying Todoroki, I couldn't remember. Endeavor was really going in on Shigaraki, but he stands back up somehow, and he looks tattered and beat. It looked like his arm was cut off, but we find out he's missing like half of his hand, so it's crazy. But he stands up and starts to go on another tantrum about how he hates the hero system, how it's corrupted. It's like maggots coming out of a rotten wall or something. Like, it's really like his hatred for the hero system, for the heroes in general, really starts to come out and even gets darker in this chapter. And he starts to talk about heroes neglecting their families to protect random people. So they'll hurt their own families just to protect strangers. And that's something that he focuses on in this chapter. So he starts to talk about that, and it stems back to his father's hatred for heroes because of his grandmother's kind of disowned his father, ran away, kind of left him. He kind of says he had no son. And it was to protect him. We know it was to protect him from One For All. But his father didn't understand it. Shigaraki's father didn't understand that. And it kind of stemmed down to Shigaraki as well. So we kind of get a flashback of mini Shigaraki wandering around looking for help. And people are saying, someone will come help you. Random citizens wouldn't stop to help him. They said, someone will come help. And no one ends up helping him at all. So really sad situation for Shigaraki. You really feel bad for him. His past was really terrible, especially what happened with him and his family, especially when he developed his powers. I mean, he has a really sad backstory. You feel bad for him then. Right now, he's just a terrible person. So there's a balance between them, and it's a really good job of how he's portrayed in the story. He's becoming one of the best villains that I've read about in a long time. I mean, he's up there with many of the good ones from Naruto and One Piece and other great villains that we've seen in manga and anime. So he's really stepping into the show light. And we stem back even further to a flashback with him and his grandmother, and a conversation that his grandmother had with Gran Torino. So this conversation, I'm trying to find the panel of it, and it might be at the end. And it's really cool looking. I mean, the detail in this chapter looks absolutely stunning. And the user of One For All, All For One, One For All, there we go. I always get them mixed up. All For One is talking to Gran Torino about how she had to erase her relationship with her son and her family just so One For All wouldn't find them. So a really sad scene that she had to kind of disown her family, walk away from them, and despite how bad it would hurt her son and her lineage going forward, she did it to protect him in the long run. And it didn't really work because One For All got to her grandson anyways, but we understand what she was trying to do. Now, this comes into question, was it the right decision? Shouldn't she have just stayed there, protected her family regardless of what would happen? Who knows what would have happened in that situation? Maybe All For One just kills her entire family and Shigaraki doesn't exist at this point. So who knows what the right decision was, but you see on her face how devastated she was that she had to disown her family. So it's hard on both sides here. The family that has to get disowned has to live without a family member, kind of is betrayed, and then the person having to leave their family also is hurt by having to walk away from their loved ones. So we see both sides of it. It's a really sad chapter, and we get a little bit more of Gran Torino. And I always forget how cool Gran Torino looks when he was in his prime. I mean, he looks buff and tall, and he's huge, and he's hugging Shimura. So that was a really cool scene, and I'm glad that kind of went back and portrayed both sides of the spectrum. Really cool chapter, all of that. But as things start to heat up, Shigaraki, despite all of his battle wounds and his injuries, goes right back into the fight here. He jumps in and he seems to be getting even stronger and faster. Endeavor goes to make an attack and Shigaraki completely dodges it, is out of nowhere. And Gran Torino notices that Endeavor's power is weakening because of all the massive attacks he was sending Shigaraki's way. So as soon as Shigaraki was about to attack Endeavor, Gran Torino out of nowhere hits Shigaraki in the back, pins him to the ground. And again, Gran Torino comes out of nowhere. His instincts are amazing. He's always saving the day. He's always coming out of nowhere to help somebody out. And that much stemmed from all of his time fighting in his prime. Like his instincts, his battle experience is so high up there, but he's always in the right position at the right time. Unfortunately, he misunderstood Shigaraki's power, or underestimated is what I should say. Shigaraki swings around, Gran Torino tries to get out of the way and Shigaraki grabs his leg. And we see blood spatter and he crushes Gran Torino's foot or leg or whatever it is. And we know that Gran Torino's jets are at the bottom of his feet. I don't know how that works. If it gets crushed, does it come back? Does it grow back? Or if it's just gone forever? But he crushes one of Gran Torino's legs. This absolutely immobilizes him for a long time. And now Gran Torino is extremely vulnerable. And Shigaraki has nothing but death written on his face. I mean, his eyes are widened out. He has that crazy smile and laugh to him. I mean, Gran Torino is one of my favorite characters, and I am so nervous for him throughout this read. I'm just freaking out, guys. That's really crazy. I'm not playing tug of war right now. And the one that freaks out the most is Deku. Obviously, Gran Torino trained Deku. They have a great history together here. They have a great relationship. So he, of course, goes absolutely crazy about this. And all of a sudden, we cut to a scene, and Shigaraki, full power, pins Gran Torino and punches him straight into the ground. You just see blood spatter everywhere. Oh my God, guys. If Gran Torino's dead, I might quit the series. I might quit. I don't know. I won't be able to handle it because Gran Torino is such a cool character. I think he's really integral to the characters, especially Deku, going forward to train them in his powers even more. So, I don't know. It looks really bad for Gran Torino. If he's not dead, he may have lost his ability to lose his jet powers. So, we're in a bad situation with Gran Torino. Obviously, Deku is not going to let this happen. So, he jumps right in. He's going full cowling. He's going right to Shigaraki. Endeavor tries to stop him, but it's no use. And Shigaraki just ignores him. He just dips around him full speed. Apparently he's getting even faster and he's starting to make a beeline right towards Eraserhead. Obviously Eraserhead is using the other hero's water powers to keep his eyes hydrated so he can keep Shigaraki's other abilities, his one for all abilities, in check so he can just use his raw power. That's it. So if he takes out Eraserhead, the heroes are in so much trouble. Most likely they would all die because Shigaraki would just unleash his destructive crust ability, his rust ability, and just kill them all. So really crazy. But luckily Ryuko steps in with her full dragon form and tries to grab Shigaraki. If Shigaraki punches right through her scales all the way through and luckily stops him when we think this is okay. Deku jumps on Shigaraki's back, uses Black Whip to wrap him around, and we see for the first time Deku take a good amount of damage. Shigaraki back elbows Deku right in the stomach, and the most blood I've seen come out of Deku's mouth comes out. He spits out blood, but to Deku's credit, he hangs in there. He increases the amount of Black Whips around Shigaraki, really tries to tie him down, but at the very end of this chapter, we see in Shigaraki's hand a capsule, and it looks like a bullet, and he says, "Those fools still didn't know that I've got this." He's got one of the quirky racing bullets in his hand. And we see a little picture of Eri as well at the bottom, kind of give us a clue of what he's talking about. And it was a nice scene because Eri's like smiling, but the thought that Shigaraki has is so devastating because he's looking right at Eraserhead. And that's where the chapter ends. He's got the bullet in his hand, and with 2 fingers, I'm sure he could just flick it at Shigaraki at full speed, bullet speed, which makes me so nervous. So not only does Gran Torino get absolutely the crap beat out of him in this chapter, but we possibly may see the loss of Eraserhead's powers in next week's chapter. So that would be really crazy. Maybe someone will step in and take the bullet for Eraserhead, which would be really, really nice and sad depending on who it is. So amazing chapter. It was so intense, guys. So many things happened. Shigaraki obviously really, really showing out his power. I mean, his hatred for heroes is really up there, and I'm loving him. I mean, him as a villain in this series, he's great. I really love his character, what his purpose is, what he wants to do, his purpose going forward. I think it's very clear to us that his hatred for heroes, he wants to abolish the hero system, create a new world. Very obvious to us. So I think he's really well written, but right now, man, he's got to die. He's got to die. Kill him quick. I don't want to see any of our favorite heroes get killed or lose their powers. And at the very end, Endeavor is going in for a full max, one last shot on Shigaraki. So we'll see what happens in chapter 282. So join me again next week, guys, here with another review. Comment below with your favorite part of this chapter, and what do you think is going to happen in chapter 292, everybody here, or 282, excuse me. Do you think Eraserhead is going to lose his power? Is someone going to step in and help out? Or is Shigaraki going to wipe out everyone, walk away, and leave the heroes wounded? So a lot could happen, guys. I'm looking forward to, I think, August 3rd. So we do have a chapter next week. Thankfully, it's not on break. So we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more videos, guys, here. If you liked what you see, I appreciate it. More videos will be coming, guys. I appreciate you being patient with me. I know things have been busy with the new house and everything. So tune in again. Your boy Ash is out. Peace. Have a fantastic day.